Good morning, guys. This is Professor Carl Agnatti, PhD, MD, MBA. Today we're going to be conducting a retrospective analysis of Uncle Scotty, and this is on our series of retrospective analysis of central figures of history. Previously, we actually did cover Uncle Scotty, but there's just so much history to get into that we need to speak on a couple more things regarding it. So let's get into it. All right, come on, food. That's not gonna work. Okay. So, actually, wait for the title to load in for a second. Okay. So, the Great Calamity of the Battle of Kurdistan. Now, Scott personally was not in this battle. He was more of a by proxy agent. He actually led the revolt of Smith and Wesson, which ended up accruing 2,100 counts of wire fraud, which was around circa 90,000 AD, which stands for after Deborah. Smith and Wesson, feeling intense sympathy for him, ended up posting his bail. After he posted his bail, he celebrated with a pancake and a good luck right here. Again, this is circa 90,000 AD after Deborah. Okay. So his next role in history was his marches with Malcolm X. So Malcolm X and this guy named Bill Ding, who actually created the word building, he wanted to kind of have them conflated with each other. They were confidants, and he was added to they were confidants in, they eventually added Scott into his inner sanctum. And Scott was colloquially known as Malcolm Y for his similar appearance to Malcolm X. It was hard to differentiate between the two. So he actually resented this. He preferred the name Agent Zero, or Zero, depending on how you write it. But that is a little bit of history with him and Malcolm X. And shockingly, you would think that this was the peak for figures of his time, but this wasn't even close. Next.
Hey, Rogers, look, I'm you.
Jake from State Farm. You couldn't find a stand-in who looked anything like me?
Have you seen mine?
It's like looking in a mirror, right?
He ended up starting Shenandoah and Company, which was his life insurance thing. So the full name of the company was actually
Shenandoah and Company Life Insurance Industries Incorporated, or SCL for short. He ended up moving to Raleigh in 2001. In Raleigh, secure your family's future. That was always his headline. You'd see this on bus benches and all around Panera Breads and Dunkin's posted up. Usually they get taken down, but it would always be up for some time and people would see it. I mean, there isn't much really to speak of. This was a quiet time, certainly, in his life. A lot of his life, truth be told, was quiet. Alright, so 9/11 and the government state. So he actually led the charge, and you're going to have to forgive me for the name of this leader. So he led the charge against Abdullah Muhammad Ibn Rashad. You can pronounce it, but he was of the tribe of Banu Sulayman, and he was the son of the desert wind, the keeper of the seven sands, and the twice removed cousin of the eagle of Fallujah. And he ended up, and so he was a close confidant of FBI Director James Comey later in his life, which ended up proving to be very pivotal. I mean, you can see him right there. So you have Obama. If I'm being quite honest with you, a lot of these figures, they really didn't amount to being very much. So it really is what it is. You do with that information what you will, but you just need to know that Scott at one point in time was there, and he ended up settling 9/11. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put that in. Okay, so the end in a note. So we're going to be continuing our series on the, let's go back here for a second, forget the title actually, on the retrospective analysis of Uncle Scotty. So hopefully there's a third section. There's definitely some pivotal figures that we really haven't gone over quite as much as we probably need to. But in whole, the understanding is Scott was revolutionary. He his life on the line when it counted, when it was needed, and often he wasn't rewarded for it, but you wouldn't be here without him. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I've said my piece, and I hope that whomever teaches the next lecture, could be me, could be anyone else for that matter, they pay him tribute as such.